Morning. So let's have some fun. I guess I'll make my Charles Manson video. I would suppose that everybody on YouTube is looking to make some YouTube money and they have no creativity or skill. So they actually consider this news while they all talk about fake news, while they all talk about alternative media. But then when I go looking around, what the fuck is alternative media and shit? I only find this fucking idiot Philip DeFranco that is a copy of TMZ, which is funny because the way that humanity works is it's always the person that came up with something, we get rid of them, then we praise the replacement. This happens all the time, but what's funny is TMZ starts it all, which is this is the oldest form of propaganda the world has ever known. It's the most evil shit the world has ever known. It's why all the fucking Jews were fucking killed, is the result of the end of TMZ and what it will do in the fucking end. But it's funny how just Philip DeFranco has completely replaced this shit as far as, YouTube's concerned. But I haven't watched this video, so let's have some fun with a criminal, somebody Harvey Levin, who wouldn't last 5 fucking minutes in court, who is an attorney who knows that all of you are too stupid to know what illegal propaganda is, as he's built the entire fucking world of it. Hey, the shit that the Jews have been kicked out of every single country. When I go researching, just normal old research, I find that every country I research, there's a story of the Jews said they start a banking system, then they rule everything of news and shit with this propaganda that is not news, that they replace news with it. Isn't it funny on YouTube we have about 2 generations of people that actually believe TMZ and Philip DeFranco is news. Outside of that, they believe slandering Donald Trump is that's also news. But let's play the video.
We broke the story last night that Charles Manson.
Oh, he broke. TMZ broke the breaking. It's not news. Charles Manson has been used as a boogeyman figure for everybody, where nobody ever thought that the fucking shit would fucking go away and shit. That's the only way. That's the only reason I'm making my video, because it's like, wow, we're gonna actually be done with the boogeyman. But then there's a lot behind Charles Manson, because it's a whole thing of how do you have the wisdom that you have. The same thing when we watch Jesus of Nazareth, and I'll pull up that one dude. It's like Jesus's nemesis and shit. How the fuck do you have the wisdom that you have and shit? So they broke the breaking story here.
We broke the story last night that Charles Manson died in prison. And what is interesting.
Well, what is interesting, let's hear, he's going to say, what is interesting is this blackmail and slander that I have that is not news whatsoever, because I am not a newsman in any way. I am a corrupter of society that belongs in prison that wouldn't last in court for 5 fucking minutes.
About that is that we found out from the sister of the famous victim, Sharon Tate. Deborah Tate told us that she got a call.
You found out from the sister of somebody that somebody got a phone call, and what does this mean anything? This is the farthest thing from fucking news.
That from the prison that Charles Manson died at 8:13 last night.
So you got the breaking story from somebody's sister that knew somebody, and then their uncle and somebody else, and you guys are you guys are really in the driver's seat of everything, aren't you?
I find that interesting because I have not heard of the prison officials calling victims' families when somebody dies. It may happen. I haven't heard it before.
Are you trying to create something because you're creating something for all the stupid people to fight about? Hey, something different happened. The world isn't this black and white thing that us Jews want to make it all out to be with our red pillar and our blue pillar. Maybe something else happened, but we'll turn it into gossip so everybody can fight about it.
But Deborah Tate told me that the prison people said they were going to call every single family member of at least one family member per victim before they release the information publicly.
Yeah, so what, Harvey Levin? People say shit all the time. Then other things fucking happen. Sometimes something else makes more fucking sense than something else, even though that we said we were gonna do something and then something else happened.
I found that interesting.
I found that there's nothing interesting about it. You're trying to create a paradox for all the stupid people to fight in.
Should say that we knew.
Isn't it funny? Right from the fucking teachings of Jesus, the old Jews have done nothing but the same. And the funny thing about this video is when anybody does any of this kind of shit, they're a bunch of racist. When I'm doing it, this is the truth of all of humanity. All of fucking humanity's history and the entire thing as all of it repeats. Well, I can 100% sit up here and say this is what the Jews do.
On in the week.
It's what they're fucking known for, and they've made it so that nobody can fucking talk about it. Nobody can bring up how these one people always do this shit.
That he was dying. We did stories that he had been rushed to the hospital again, and that
Is he trying to say that he cared about something? We did stories about rushing to the hospital. We did why? For what? There's real news in the world. There's real people suffering. There's real shit to do, but once again, the only thing that you do is the law, right from the teachings of Jesus. All slander and gossip, all judging one man against another, and it's what your law itself is. Quit fucking stuffing your Jewish law down people's throats while you just call it normal. You just say you would have to tolerate this. You have to let us into your society and do this to your society. Through all of history, you're kicked out of every country as you do this over and over. So you finally got to the point to where you can dumb everybody down to where they can't even ask about this shit. Nothing. Don't talk about how the Jews do this and how it all repeats through fucking. It's even in the teachings of fucking Jesus Christ.
Was not going to get any better. He was deteriorating, and it was apparent the end was near. This is an enormously important series of murders.
It happened so fucking long ago. It's all used as boogeyman shit for all of us slaves to be scared of some. It's so important there, huh? Not that they're. I live in LA. Let's watch the news right now and watch the 6 and 7 people that were murdered in the last fucking hour. You want to tell me about some incredibly important murders fucking 30 years ago?
Very bad way. It's not that the body count was bigger than anything we've ever seen.
Here's our boogeyman shit.
Because clearly that's not the case. But the overlay of these murders was you have a cult that was trying to start a race war.
You mean like PewDiePie? You mean like kill all Jews? You mean like how kill all niggers is just a standard issue thing? Yeah, hey, Grandpa, why don't you wake up to YouTube, you fucking idiot?
Brutally, dismembering people, carving out.
Do you know how many people have died this year alone trying to make money on YouTube, doing YouTube stunts? I'm gonna do a fake prank where I'm hanging myself and my mother's gonna come in and think I'm killing myself. Oops! I really hung myself for real. Oh well. That shit just happens on a daily basis with YouTube. Nobody acknowledges it whatsoever. Then YouTube's done a thing of where they blame everybody but YouTube.
And there's a pregnant woman's stomach, a knife wound where they're just. It was
You're talking baby games compared to what's on YouTube.
unspeakable what they were doing, and this complete.
Are you trying to somehow come off as sincere? Look how he's like really trying to like, let me really, maybe if I just kind of like Hulk out like Hulkamania, it'll come off like somehow this is news. Somehow this is somehow important. Somehow this is somehow fucking sincere in some fucking way.
Turn Los Angeles on its head. People were terrified, uh, and remember, this was followed up. The Sharon Tate murders were followed up the next day by the La Bianca murders, and it was apparent there were
Are you having Are you having a coke problem, Mister Lawyer? You sure do have the sniffles there. I mean, I wasn't gonna say something when it was the third or fourth time, but now that we got the sniffles every couple of fucking old Sniffy over there. It kind of comes up every now and then. Yeah, what you got going wrong with your nose there, fucking Uncle Sniffenstein?
some group of people in town that were wreaking havoc on Los Angeles.
Hey, there were some people that were they were uh, maybe you should have put yourself together before you did the news thing. Maybe you should have thought, fuck man, all this coke that I do, I'm gonna get on the fucking news and shit. What's not news whatsoever, what's been labeled as news. I'm gonna be Mr. fucking Sniffles.
I will say one other thing. Um, there is a theory, and I believe this
There's a theory.
theory actually,
I,
that Sharon
I got a theory too, but it's actually not a theory. It's 100% truth that not one person can stand up to. The problem is, all of you Jews have turned it into no, no, it's not nice to tell the truth because it might hurt our feelings. See, we won't be able to sell this propaganda. We'll actually be outed for what we've done to the world and what we've always done and what we've been kicked out of every single country for. We come and we set up our banking system, then we control all fucking media and news with propaganda. We change your civilized civilization into nothing but gossip and propaganda where everybody judges everybody at every fucking moment. Nothing but all the sorrow, the suffering, the hate in the entire world created by this group of fucking people. Jesus hated you people.
Tate and the group that was at her home were not the intended.
Is that not nice? Is that not tolerant of you? Your little fucking tricks of, oh, you see, I'm gonna do the most evil shit ever, but I'm gonna convince you that you need to be tolerant of what I'm about to do to you and your society. That's your game, isn't it?
Targets of Charles Manson
Well, why don't we go to court, Mr. Lawyer, to see how you don't make it 5 fucking minutes?
and his cult. That the target,
You'd have to clear up those sniffles there first, there, Mr. Sniffly. The judge might have something to ask about. Why you? Well, you can't seem to get one word out without fucking sniffing there, but you don't have a cough. You don't have anything that shows that you got the flu, the cold, a bug, or you got. What's up, Mr. Sniffles?
is a guy named Terry Melcher. Terry
Yeah,
Melcher,
standard fucking crooked fucking lawyer fucking sniffing his coke.
who was also the son of Doris Day, it was the producer
Yeah.
of the Beach Boys at the time. Charles Manson had actually written a song that the Beach Boys recorded and put.
Is he telling us some kind of news? Is this fun facts to repeat to other stupid people that have absolutely no knowledge of anything? Is this the 4 and 5 things that we're allowed to talk about? So we're allowed to talk shit about Trump's tweets. Now he's given us permission. Oh, look at all this gossip and slander that I've given you that just creates all the division, hate, and suffering in the entire world. Now, why don't you guys go create all the division and hate and suffering in the entire world while you're oblivious to it?
On the B side of a single, and Charles Manson fancied himself as a songwriter and felt he was going to become famous that way, and was pressuring the Beach Boys and Terry Melcher to do more of his.
This was like before I was born, dude. Nobody fucking cares. They only care because it gives them something to talk shit about. The kids, the little kids, you've done your job. You've actually convinced them that this shit is news.
They realized how crazy he was and they cut him off, and it enraged Manson. Turns out that before Sharon Tate moved into that house just weeks earlier, Terry Melcher was living in that house.
Oh my God! Terry Melcher was live. Oh wow! He really wants us to be a bunch of old ladies, old cackling Jews around the table, and he spits out his gossip, and we're supposed to be the old cackling Jews that just gossip about all of it. Oh, thank you, thank you. That's our law.
And Cielo Drive with his girlfriend, Candace
Wow! Oh my gosh!
Morgan. They were living there, and
Wow, Mr. Sniffles, oh my, people lived at places, and this happened so many fucking years ago, and you're still trying to spin your propaganda.
a feeling that Manson may have dispatched his group to
See, I'm making this video because I thought we were finally done with Manson. These people here will make sure that we have our boogeyman for the end of fucking time.
house, not to kill Sharon Tate, but to kill Terry Melcher out of revenge. In any event, this is a chapter
There's nothing new being said here, Harvey.
that
You're just a scam artist, Jew, lawyer piece of shit that has a major coke problem.
not over in the sense that this the victims still live with this, but the fact that Charles Manson died does.
Yeah, the victims still live with it. How about you addressing Leafy is here and sending 1 million people to harass the autistic kid? He'll never get over that for his whole entire life. But you want to talk about some ancient history shit that's been gone over and gone over and gone over.
A chapter, if not the book,
How about we talk about some PewDiePie and kill all Jews and shit like that?
on one of the most heinous crimes in Los Angeles history.
And that's what we got from the absolute scumbags, the people that ruin the motherfucking world. Usually, always, 100% of the time without fail, there's never a finger to point, but when it comes to this shit, we actually get to point a finger this time.